Hi, good afternoon guys. This is Tyree from STM Environmental. We're going to be hosting a webinar now on what's new in GeoEnviron Part 2. This is going to be an offline recording just because we had some technical difficulties earlier when we were doing the live version. So without further ado, let's get cracking. So we're going to be looking at what's new in GeoEnviron 8.1 today. It's going to be available on YouTube for you guys to browse at your leisure. And I'm going to be including a link to the what's new index, which has all the features, some we haven't been able to cover just because there's been so many new updates to GeoEnviron 8.1. So you can have a look at that in your leisure. There's videos. I know especially the mail merge video is very popular because it describes exactly how to set that up. So if you want to have a look at that in your own time, then you can get cracking on that by looking in the comment section of the YouTube page. So today we're going to be looking at how to get the best out of GeoEnviron 8.1. Last week we covered some features like drag and drop and upload photos simultaneously. And we're going to be looking at a couple more features today that will hopefully get you to use the best out of GeoEnviron 8.1. So about GeoEnviron, it's the complete data and management system. It has a GIS link component, so you can have all your assets quickly linked to GIS. And it works because we use it ourselves for our own private consultancy. And it's a really good system. We really encourage people to get on board with it because the more that you put into GeoEnviron, the more you get out, because it was designed for environmental professionals by environmental professionals, which means we know what sort of things you guys are looking for, and we've accounted for almost every single possibility. So really, it is the complete data management system. About us, we're STM Environmental. I'm sure lots of you already know us. Either you're already existing users of GeoEnviron or your prospective clients. We offer tailored solutions to environmental problems, be that in our private consultancy or our work with local authorities, with GeoEnviron as an environmental software solution. As I say, it all started with GeoEnviron. The company's 14 years old now, but it all started in Denmark with GeoEnviron, and the company's growing massively. We've just moved into new offices in Twickenham, where we're very happy. We've got lots of lovely new gadgets to play with, including the standing desks at which I'm delivering this webinar. About myself, I'm from my name's Tyree, I should say. I'm from an environmental management background, and I joined STM in January 2017. Since then, I've been doing a range of things. I suppose what you guys would mostly know me for is software support and helping you with when you call up with issues with GeoEnviron. As I say, I put together the what's new index, so I've got experience with all the new features that GeoEnviron 8.1 has to offer. So why upgrade? Well, apart from all the great new features, some of them we've seen last week in the webinar, and some of them we're going to be seeing today, including ones we can't even fit into the webinars because there's so many cool new features. There's also training videos. The newer version has training videos that I made that essentially cover all. They're a step-by-step guide on how to get the best out of GeoEnviron, as I say. And they're a guide through all the new features. It solves old issues. There are a few bugs and things that the newer version helps. And not only that, it enables us to give you better support, because if you guys are all on the same operating system, then it just makes life a lot easier for us to give you the support that you need when you need it. The next webinar is going to be on common issues with GeoEnviron. So stuff like refreshing layers, for example. We're going to be looking at how to do that so that you guys have a better grip on how to use the software to its full extent and get the best out of GeoEnviron. So the new features we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be looking at how to export your calendar to Excel. We're going to be looking at the revamped site search feature. So that's, you've got a lot of new things to get your teeth stuck into photo auto retrieve, and we're also going to briefly touch on mail merge fields. And as I say, I'm going to be linking to that um, what's new file, which has a video with step-by-step guides on how to do mail merge, because we know it's a very popular feature and one that people are looking to get into. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so the first feature that we're going to have a look at today is the site search feature, which is completely revamped, as I mentioned before. So without further ado, I'll just sort of show you the feature itself. As you can see, it's different to how we've had site search before. You can now search by case file, contact name, external case reference, that sort of thing. You no longer need to hit find then retrieve. You can simply just enter, for example, 001 in the site ID, hit retrieve, and it brings up those sites ready in an instant, as GeoEnviron always does. And then on the actual results page here, we got a couple of new features. So here's the add to favorite sites button. As you can see in Blue Peter fashion, did some earlier. Um, by clicking that button, it brings up to this tab where you can easily manage sites that you constantly go back to, so that you don't have to keep searching every time. You can just bring it up easily, um, for better data management. And then once you're here, or even from the sites found, you can click on go to site, which is another feature that we've seen across some of the events reports and things like that, and the reports across GeoEnviron. But this brings up the information about the site, where you can view almost everything that you need about a site, all in one place. So the next feature we're going to have a look at is the case management setting, whereby you can edit case management settings so that in the calculations based on time, it only factors in working days. So we know this is going to be useful for councils who operate on a Monday to Friday working day week. So for those local authorities, it's a really useful little tweak that basically means that you don't have to do an extra calculation on top to work it out. So if we navigate to System, Settings, Initialization Settings, and then bring up the case management by clicking that little X there, you can see here there's a working days box here, and I've got mine already done. It says yes. If yours says no and you want to change it, simply type yes, click update, and then reopen GeoEnviron, and that should take effect. But the idea behind that was to factor in working days into case management to give you a more intuitive data management through a better understanding of a case, and the time related to it. Another little feature is the longer document links. We had some issues with people saying that the document link wasn't long enough to store something, for example, like a long web page link. We know some of the planning portal stuff can be really long in length, as well as some of the document paths. So we've bumped up the length of the feature to 350 characters, which we think will accommodate for almost any need, and hopefully that will mean you can attach, be it a web page or a document with ease. So now we're going to have a look at an events report. So this is a new report, which is a case management feature. So it's available across all modules. And this is essentially, it's a report based upon what events have taken place in GeoEnviron. So if we have a look, let's just change the date to 2010, for example, and I filtered here by all modules. You can also filter by case type and event type, but we're just going to bring up all of them. And you can see instantly brings up a whole load of information about events at a site. And as I say, you can filter by a variety of things. And we hope that you guys will use this report, to manage your events more effectively. Um, as I say, it's a new report that's come out with GeoEnviron 8.1. Now, another feature is going to be I'm going to do a little plug here. If you haven't watched the first webinar, then maybe you might want to watch it just to find out how to do the upload multiple photos simultaneously, because following on from that, as I promised last week, we're going to be looking at the photo auto retrieve. So before we show you, what it looks like, just show you the setting. It's same thing again, initialization settings. And then here's a little button called photo. Open photo window automatically. Again, you want to type yes in there and hit update. And what this will do is anytime that you bring up a site with photos attached to it, that you might have done through the drag and drop mechanism that I showed you last week, you can easily see that. So let's navigate to contaminated land. Let's click find and retrieve. Oh, actually, let's just go to case management, find and retrieve, and there you go. You can see instantly it brings up the photo associated with the site. And that's essentially just to enable people to build up, if you'll excuse the pun, a bigger picture of the site, alongside the drag and drop and the upload multiple photos simultaneously, as well as stuff like the adding media to inspections that we covered last week. You're able to view the site as a whole. As you can see, you can cycle through the photos nice and easily. Lovely serene pictures of the sea. And yeah, it's a really nifty feature, and we've really wanted to push sort of seamless media management this time around with the new update. And I think with all these features, we've made a big step towards that, because we know what it's like if you're out doing inspections, for example, and you want to attach a photo to a site. We want to make it as easy as possible for you so that you guys can build up that bigger picture, as I say, of GeoEnviron. So we're going to have a look now at the export to Excel button, which is just here. So if you click on there, it will enable you to export your sites to Excel. Obviously there I didn't create a site, create a document. But essentially that export to Excel button works for the calendar, so you're able to export all your events and things like that very easily with the click of a button. As well as people didn't know that already you could export all your site information to Excel. That's just in case you want to, I don't know, produce a graph or something, and you feel that Excel would be better for that. So that feature is there for you guys to use in GeoEnviron 8.1. And last but not least, we're going to touch on mail merge. So for people who don't know what mail merge is, it's the ability to automate your letter writing process. And it's a feature that people who do use it love it, but not everyone uses it. And we're really trying to push that this time around with the update. So as I say, we probably don't have time to go into it fully in this webinar, but I'm going to upload a video with a step-by-step instruction, just so that you guys can all get to grips with it and automate your letter writing process. And as I say, in the new GeoEnviron, we've added a couple of new fields, the company name and the permit reference. So why not watch the video? It will be linked in the comment section of this video alongside the what's new index. So let's recap what we learned in this webinar. As I said before, we were looking at how to get the best from GeoEnviron 8.1. We've had 2 webinars on this. They're both on YouTube for you guys to watch at your leisure. But in terms of features, we haven't covered the entirety of it, just because there are so many features. So if there's any small features that we missed out, they'll be in the What's New linked in the comment section. So we had a look at the new site search feature, which was a complete overhaul of how we did the site search feature. It's more intuitive and, as I say, easier to find sites, and you can search by new fields. As well as that, go to site and favorite button, which we thought would just enable better data management and make it easier for you guys. Case management on working days is a small feature, granted, but we think it will make a huge impact in terms of managing your case management as it factors in, the working days into the calculations for time. And we know that local authorities almost ubiquitously work on a Monday to Friday schedule. Longer document lengths. As I say again, people were saying that they were having some issues previously with not being able to link certain things to GeoEnviron because of the document links, be that a document itself or perhaps a web link. So we've accommodated everyone and we've increased the size, and hopefully that will enable you to attach anything you'd like to GeoEnviron. The events report, manage your case events with a simple report. You can filter by case type, event type, date range, and we hope that you guys will really take on this report with the new version of GeoEnviron. The photo auto retrieve, as I said before, in conjunction with the other features such as the upload multiple photos simultaneously, the drag and drop feature, we're just trying to build up a bigger picture of each site, if you will excuse the pun yet again. But what we're trying to do is enable seamless data management, seamless media management as well, through, as I say, building up that picture of a site. The export calendar to Excel. You can export your calendar now to Excel, so you can manage your, the time and events through Excel from GeoEnviron. As I say, you can also do this for, if some people didn't realize, you can also export all your sites to Excel. Say, for example, if you wanted to create a graph or something that GeoEnviron doesn't let you do. Last but not least, there's a couple of new mail merge fields. So as I said, I'm going to be linking that the video in the description and the comment section on YouTube, so that if you guys want to have a look at it and get to grips with it in your own time, then you can do that. So guys, that'll be all for today. Thank you for watching. The next webinar is going to be on common issues in GIS, and we hope you can attend. We'll be sending out a webinar bulletin via the usual channels, and we'll probably put a link to the registration in the YouTube page as well. So thank you once again. We hope to see you soon.